Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Final Destination Revisited. And we're on the much maligned Final Destination 4, or The Final Destination. I want to call it Final Destination 4 because I found a cool picture with that title, so that's why I'm going to call it Final Destination 4. And, yeah. So I remember when this was coming out in 2009. Not the same year as Saw 3D, by the way. Saw 3D came out in 2010. James and Janice. So, remember when this came out, I knew a fourth one was coming out, and then the trailer came out, and I went, a racetrack? How is that even remotely anything that can go wrong like that? To their credit, they do make it work ridiculously, but yeah. So I went to the theater to see this, not in 3D. Our theater didn't have it in 3D, so I went to watch it in 2D, and I liked it. And you know what? I still like it. I understand fully why someone would hate this movie. I get it. But to me, it's one of those movies that I could... This franchise has become one of those things where you turn off your brain. You enjoy the kills. That's the point. Right? People say, well, they didn't further any lore and it didn't break any ground. Well, that's fine. Right? Like, even the fifth one, they experimented by making that a secret prequel. Full spoilers, of course. So then when the new one was coming out, and they're like, oh, we're going to do something different. Because, like, first the rumor was, oh, it was a house fire. I'm like, what? Why can't we ever just get a boat? A ship? And I'm like, a house fire? And then, like, they explained it more, and oh, it's not going to be like normal. It's going to be a family bloodline, a family. And then I saw the trailer for it, and I went, it's been haunting me ever since that night. We should not exist. We should not be alive. And I'm like, okay, one, Supernatural did it first. Two, no, that's not how death works. I haven't watched the movie yet, so I can't comment. But every time, death comes after people right away. You're telling me it waited decades to come after this specific family? They're trying to add stuff to it. And while the fifth one left me wanting more of the lore, I figured by the time we got another one, it was going to be a reboot or something, and it didn't matter. I don't know. We'll see when we get to that one. But this one, let's talk about this one. So, David R. Ellis came back for this one. And to his credit, he did try to go practical with some of the stuff. But the studio said, no, we're doing this one in 3D, so that's not going to work. We need to have CGI splatter coming towards the screen. So that's why everything is covered up with CGI, because it has to be. I also want to point out that this is some of the Rube Goldbergiest stuff, and not a lot of it makes sense. Especially one of these kills. Like, yeah. So we start off with dig in, up, devour, in an hour, devour, it's your final hour, devour. I like that song. It was a WWE theme song, Survivor Series or something, or was it a Great American Band? I don't know. It was a pay-per-view theme song, but yeah. And they're at the McKinley racetrack. Yep, McKinley again. And we met our main character. Jumbo. I don't know his name. Think of his name. What the hell is his name? Lori, Hunt, Janet, and Billy. No. Bobby. That's his real name. What is his name? I hate when I have to do this because it takes time. I don't want it to take time. Still can't think of it. I'm trying. The final destination. And his name is, drumroll please, Nick. Nick O'Bannon, apparently. He's played by Bobby Campo, who you may know only from the Scream TV series and this. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else. I can click quick, but I don't know anything else. He was in Legally Blondes, a TV show called Vampire Bats, comedy film called General Education. He was on the American version of Being Human, Scream TV series. I watched the American version of Being Human for a little bit, but I didn't get into it. No, there's nothing. Coffee and Cream. Girlfriend Lori is played by Chantel Van Santen, you may know from One Tree Hill, or The Flash, where she was Patty Spivot. I almost said Peggy. Patty Spivot. Haley Webb plays Janet. Literally never seen her in anything else other than this. Sorry. And Nick Zano rounds out our foursome as Hunt. Yes, Hunt. Nick Zano, you may know from the sitcom What I Like About You. You really know how to dance. Yeah. And also Legends of Tomorrow. He's been in plenty of other stuff. He was in that Netflix show. They got canceled after one season called what was it called? Unprepared or something like that. Obliterated? Was it Obliterated? Obliterated. Yeah. 8 episodes. Chad. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was in Joyride too, right? Forgot about that. Been forever since I've seen that one. He was in Fat Albert as a camera salesman. Wow. So that's our 4 main characters. They're at the racetrack because this is where the incident's going to happen for some reason. And we see our various people. I have to name out the name. Krista Allen, Michael T. Williamson, or Bubba from Forrest Gump, is George, the security guard of the place. We have Krista Allen, or you know as the lady from Liar Liar. Well, that's because you got big jugs. I mean, your boobs are huge. I mean, I want to squeeze them. I did. Mama. Yeah, her. She has a name here, Samantha Lane, but she's just known as the MILF. Andrew Fisichella plays Andy. Gee. Thought long and hard for that name, didn't ya? And he's the mechanic guy. And then you have Justin Wilborn as the racist guy. Literally just the racist guy. His name is Carter, but Carter's not a racist. Carter's a dick. We know that. Carter, you dick? Why did they have 2 characters named Carter? I don't know. His name is the racist guy. Then there's his wife, played by Lara Grice, and I assume that Nadia must be the mechanic's girlfriend. And I think Jonathan Groves is the cowboy. That's about it. Yeah, so we see things around the racetrack. The MILF, I'm what I'm going to call her, puts tampons in her kids' ears because it's loud. Bring headphones. We should go to the races here in town all the time. Not here in town, but local races. Earplugs, something. Sit there and play with toys in the dirt. I was young. But yeah. How'd you think more people would have headphones or something on, earmuffs or something, I do like the line that Hunt has was like, is that where he's drinking alcohol out of a pair of binoculars. Is that Jack? No, it's his brother Jim. As in Jim Beam. So this is... It's going to be one of the most ridiculous ways that this starts. They have a car in the pit stop, and it pulls out too soon, and there's a metal thing hanging off the back of the fuel tank or something. It goes flying through and causes the cars to crash. Just flop. A tire goes flying into the thing and kills someone. The whole structure starts to fall apart. When it comes to the opening premonitions, this is probably the dumbest. How can a whole fucking structure fall to pieces from one little piece of metal causing a car wreck? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. You got people being killed by the structure, someone being impaled by a piece of wood. It just... I do like when the engine flies out and kills the MILF. I like that part. That's pretty cool looking. It's CGI, but as someone who is sick of the hate for CGI, every time something was CGI, oh, make it way at me CGI. Let it go. It's not going anywhere. Just let it go. I'm sick of every movie. Hey, that movie's good, but didn't like the CGI. Do we need the CGI? It's like, yes, you do. Right? Like, it's not going anywhere. Stop complaining about it in every movie. I understand those various levels. It could look bad, it could look good, sure. But it's getting to the point where people just complain that it's CGI. Not that it's good, not that it's bad. They just complain because they used CGI. And that's what's starting to frustrate me. So, of course, it's a vision. So he freaks out, he starts saying something's going to happen, and a group of them go out into the thing. The racist runs out, but his wife is left behind. I don't know. I think there's like an argument or something. And they end up, his wife's an Asian. I'm going to go get my wife, and no, shit goes down. And then the mechanic's girlfriend gets hit with the tire, and we get the opening credits. This has always frustrated me. What's the point of her leaving if she's just going to get killed right away? Yeah. So, after this, they're all just like reconvene at a coffee shop called Death by Caffeine. No, that's a stupid joke. Death by Caffeine. They're sitting there. He's also there's a writing on the table that said it's coming. That's foreshadowing for something later, but they're sitting there, they're talking, and they don't know what to do about it. And it's weird because here clearly Nick talks about how he had the vision and everything, but then later when they try to talk to them about it, they're like, what were you talking about? And she's like, but they told you here. Right? Well, that night, Nick has another vision. But these visions, these signs that they're seeing, because this movie's in 3D, it's a bunch of CGI nonsense. I know I just had a little rant about CGI, but this is the lowest form. We gotta find a way for the 3D to pop out. So let's do these things in CG. Which, the fifth one was in 3D, but they handle stuff a lot better. There's a few CGI things in there that don't age well, but it's not terrible in my opinion. But yeah, I do. Yeah, and so the racist goes to George's yard because George is an African American, you see, and this guy, he's a racist. And he somehow blames George for not letting him. Because when they go to the funeral for everyone, he calls him the N-word and blames George for the fact that his wife's not dead. That his wife's dead. Excuse me, I said that wrong. And I'm like, but you do realize you going in there wouldn't have helped the situation. You would have died too. There's no way you were going to survive going back in there. He saved your life. You're welcome, asshole. But no, so he goes to George's place. He puts a fucking cross in the yard. He's going to light it on fire, but his truck starts to go on its own, playing Why Can't We Be Friends? And the hook on his tow truck grabs him, drags him down the road, sparks fly, and he's set on fire. And one of the most ridiculous ones I've seen. There's a lot of ridiculous ones in this one, let me tell you. But, yeah. So the ding dong, the racist is dead. And like, lawyers say, oh, the racist guy is dead. They literally only call him the racist guy, but his name is Carter, but they just call him the racist guy. And he's like, I think I had a vision of it. Okay, I know people are going to say that the acting in this is not good. I think Hunt is the best one. Bobby Campo's trying. He's better, not by much, but he's better in the Scream TV series. If Shannon Van Zanten can act, I don't know what they wrote for her here. I don't know. She seems confused the whole time, and I don't know what Haley Webb ever did. But so they don't know who's next. The thing is, they do something different here where he doesn't remember shot for shot who dies when. Unlike the other ones where they just remembered from the vision. He, for some reason, didn't memorize it or something. But the MILF is next. And she's going to a hair salon to get her hair done. And her dumbass kids are throwing rocks where the guy's going to mow. So they go in, and there's this elaborate Rube Goldberg shit where the fan loosens up, lotion squirts on the floor, this can of hairspray, whatever the fuck it is, moves into a hair straightener and gets hot. And none of this amounts to any fucking thing. Because, I don't understand what was the point of this. The can pops, the kids slide on the lotion, and the fan drops. But nothing happens. Absolutely fucking nothing happens. Because she's like, better watch out, I got my eye on you. It opens the door, and then the rock goes through her eye. And she dies. What the fuck was the point of all that stuff if that's how it was going to happen? I made a comment in the last one that he directed that some of the Rube Goldberg stuff in that amounted to nothing. But this is the most amounting to nothing shit I've ever seen. Why was the can in the hair straightener? Why did the lotion fall on the floor? Why did the thing almost going to fall if none of it... Her chair is going up and down doing things. What was the point of any of that if none of that shit was going to amount to anything? And this rock, the fucking kids threw it before they even went in the building that was going to fly off and hit her in the head. But yeah, she's dead. And I do like Hunt's response. We just lost a really hot MILF. And this is when they reveal what's going on, but they don't remember who's next. So they go back to the racetrack, and he's trying to figure out, by looking at it, what it is. What it is. I know who died where, but he can't figure it out. Luckily, George is there, and this line read. So he basically tells George about what happened. He goes, I think you're nuts, but this might help you. I'm like, wait, you don't believe him? You're gonna... Wait. It's like they want the characters not to believe him when he says these things, but he's still going to help him look it up. So he look at the security camera. He's able to figure out who's next. It's Andy, the mechanic guy. And they know where he works. And remember, these people are made of Jell-O now. Oh my god, this is so... So he works at a car garage. And they're talking to him about it. And the thing goes off. And he's safe. He's like, see, I told you, I'm not going to die. And then a pressurized air... What do you call it? An air tank flies off, hits him. He hits the fence and gets diced. His back gets all diced up in pieces. Like he's made of fucking Jell-O. Because that's not how the human body works. I'm sorry, that's not... He would just be smushed up against it. He wouldn't be diced like that. There's not enough pressure from that. It goes here. It's not his whole body. Some of these deaths are really stupid. So now it's down to Hunt and Janet. Problem is, they died at the same time in the vision, and Nick can't figure out who died first. So, be smart. Shop S-Smart. No. Be smart. He sends George and Lori to go after Janet, who's at a car wash, and he himself goes after Hunt, who is at a country club because he plays golf. But here he's getting laid. We see titties. This is the most overt. I'm sorry. This is the most gratuitous. I know you're saying, wait, the girls dancing in the tanning beds wasn't gratuitous. This is a sex scene. It cuts and she's just bouncing on him. He's like, yeah, go so. And then he's like, I finished like 4 minutes ago. It hadn't been no 4 minutes, so that was fake when you did that? So you ever play Donkey Punch? What is Donkey Punch? No, he comes out. She's still putting her top on and he just walks out. Kind of a song that's playing there, but like, yeah. So this whole movie, he has this coin that he flips for luck. That goes in. This kid shoots him with a water gun. He won't give it to him, so he takes it. And he throws it behind this fence, but that's where the water thing is. And it falls on the thing, hits a lever, and somehow activates maximum suckage from the water in the pool. Apparently. But like, it doesn't drain the pool as far as I know. But like, his coin falls in the pool, so he goes to get it. This is the most memorable kill or death in my opinion. He goes to get it, he gets sucked down, and his ass hits where the thing is. Nick shows up. Somehow, nobody that's in the fucking pool sees Hunt stuck to that thing. Nobody has goggles and sees him, tries to help. No one. No one else. There's other people in the pool, but nobody sees this. Nick shows up, can't find him. He tries calling him, doesn't answer. His phone gets all messed up anyway because it gets splashed with water. But like, then the powerful suckage from this pool. Like, if you could make the suckage on this thing that powerful, then there's no way it would be this powerful. It sucks his insides out through his ass. Yep. All over the place. And then Nick has left by this point, and they never mention Hunt again. Meanwhile, what's her name? The fuck's her name? Janet is going to the car wash. Something goes wrong, and she gets her head stuck in the sunroof. And she's about to go through this scrubber blades. The scrubber things are going to kill her. Lori and George come from the other side, pushing her back out the other way and saving her. So she's safe, but Hunt is gone. They never mention Hunt again. Because remember, he never found Hunt. And he didn't know that Hunt exploded all over the place. He wasn't there. They just never bring it up. They just move on from this. George realizes he's next and then tries to unalive himself several times apparently, and it doesn't work, so they think they beat it. But, Never works that way. You see, plan on going on a vacation, and Lori and Janet are going to go see a movie at the mall. And then Nick has another premonition, and then he sees the because drink spills on a paper and it says through their actions they were saved, so I think they made it. But he sees a news story that the cowboy guy that sat in front of him, in this version, he didn't move, so he survived. This one at least makes sense other than Alex's thing. So, yeah, he's only in critical condition here. So he and George race to the hospital. And then we get one of the dumbest fucking. So this guy is filling up this orderly is filling up this old guy's water tub, and he's called to do something else. He goes, "I'll be right back. I'll just let this fill up." It is almost to the top, and he just lets it keep going. And the old man's like, and it just keeps filling up to the point until it just falls on the cowboy, just as George and Nick show up. Again, they're just allowed to walk through the hospital without a visitor's pass. I guess you could do that, but I don't know. I use the bathroom in the hospital sometimes. But, because it's right there by my bank, although my things changed now, so I need to go to the bank. Yeah. And then George gets hit by a car as they cross the street. George is dead. So then Nick tries to get a hold of Lori. She won't answer, so he makes his way to the mall. And we get this whole thing where they're walking on the escalator. Her shoelace gets stuck. Okay, here's the thing. She's like, "What do you think?" He's like, "They're nice. Nick likes me in sneaks." I'm like, "Listen, ladies. As a guy, I can tell you. We don't care what kind of shoes you wear. Unless they're feet fanatics. Feet fetishists. We don't care what kind of shoes you wear. We don't care. It's shoes. That's women thing. Shoes. I don't know. Her shoelace gets stuck in there and she freaks out, but no, she's fine. It goes to a movie called Lovelace Dying, which, from what I can tell from the footage we see, is basically their version of Final Destination, which is fucking stupid. But, they could have made a movie out of the events of the first film in this. Surprised they didn't use that at some point. Who knows? But in here, we see some of the reoccurrences. You hear the Dixie sound, which is what the racist whistled. Now it's a ringtone. Who would have that? Someone says, "Down in front, asshole." Like before, it's just a bunch of repeating things. She starts to have a feeling. And then Bobby gets there. She starts to realize she's out of here. Nick shows up. Janet says, "No, I was born to watch this movie." And the place explodes. And you go, "Wait, it wasn't her turn to die." What? It wasn't her turn to die. Lori's next. So, in theory, he saved her from it. But no, because she gets eaten by the fucking escalator. And then it's revealed this is all another vision. But wait. We weren't done going through the stuff from the first vision yet. So eventually Nick tries to get in there. He goes to stop the fire from starting. At this point, Death is just fighting back because he goes in there and he tries to stop it. The nail gun just starts shooting at him for no reason. And again, it doesn't work like that. It's hitting the ground and bouncing off the ground and shooting the nails at his arm. And I'm like, that's not how nail guns work. You need to press the trigger for it to activate. But he's able to light a long ass piece of wood on fire and stick it up to the whatever that's called, the sprinkler, and the sprinkler sets it off, covers it in water. He saved the day. And then it just cuts away to a couple weeks later. We don't get him reunited with Laurie. We don't get any kind of anything. It's just 2 weeks later, and he's commenting on his construction people. The thing is wibbly wobbly. He walks in, he orders like a small tea and a small coffee for them, and he gets this gigantic ice cream shake thingy that he says is terrible. And then he's sitting there, and they're talking about girly stuff, and he's like looking, and he's it's coming, and it's crossed out, and now it says it's here, and he's like, what if we're supposed to be here? Stealing dialogue from the first one, by the way. What if we were meant to survive the whole time? That's never it. Because, you see, you died in the premonition, so you weren't supposed to survive. That's how it works. And then Chuck backs up through the window, and they become 3D skeletons and get crushed. And then we go to credits. Because we gotta throw out the 3D one more time. Like I said, I don't hate this movie, but I can agree this is the worst. It is the worst. My favorite kill, Hunt, of course. My favorite death. Can't get any better than having your insides sucked out through your butthole. Through your ass. Yeah. But I will give it a middle of the road. Sorry. I don't hate this movie. Everyone thinks, oh, it's shit. It's bottom of the barrel. You know, Cody Leach gave it a fuck this movie. People think it's a piece of shit. I just don't see it as the piece of shit that everyone else does. It's not a good movie, but I can have fun with it. That's my prerogative, I guess. It's my prerogative, I guess. I can have fun with it. I like some of the actors in it. I'm a Nick Zano fan, so his stuff in here I think is fucking hilarious. We saw this really hot MILF. I'm gonna do what I do best. I'm gonna go get laid. Reminds me of the Groby more than I think about it. But yeah, he's less of an asshole than Hunt, but still, yeah, it's in the middle of the road. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Final Destination 4? No comments, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.